You could taste the sea salt as you took a deep breath of the ocean air. Silently, you and Cove watched the ocean for a little while. There was something about the waves that you always found soothing. You couldn't think of a better way to end a busy day. Not much time later, Derek's chipper voice caught your attention. You and Cove both turned your gaze down the pier. "What are you doing there, slowpokes? Get over here!"
Hey!
"Get over here!" "Hey, come on!" You looked at Cove the same time he looked at you. You grinned and nodded your head in the direction of your friends. He gave you a small smile in return. Your footsteps echoed against the wooden planks of the dock and into the night as you ran to catch up. I like that. I really enjoyed that. That was like one of my favorites. That was one of my favorite moments. Hanging out at the mall, a lot of good variety there, a lot of choices, a lot of really cool scenes, and I really enjoy. I'm a extrovert, so I prefer larger groups of people. So hanging out with Lee and Cove and Derek, and honestly Kyra and, Cliff, hanging out with all those people together in one scene, I really enjoyed a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do appreciate the one-on-ones too. I really appreciate the sentiment, how the intimacy of one-on-one situations. I do, but I get my energy. I get a lot of energy from a group of people. So, I really enjoyed that. I was thinking soiree, but we just did a super social thing with the mall, and so I kind of want to give myself a little bit of variety and just break things up, because I don't want to just front load all of this fun social things right up the bat. So let's go into summer work. You stared out the window, watching the scenery pass by, as your mom drove down the quiet streets at a leisurely pace. A singer crooned sweetly from the audio, turned low enough that you could block it out if you wanted. You turned away from the window when your mom suddenly spoke up. "Well, kids, are you excited to be going to the library?" "Yeah, I can't wait to get there." "Nope, I guess. No, I love the library." Mom laughed, catching your eye in the rearview mirror and winking. "I don't know why I asked. I already know how you feel about it. Taking a trip down to the library had always been something you enjoyed."
So?
"What about you, Cove? You're part of the conversation too."
Yeah.
"I like the library, and I can work better there than at home."
Sounds good.
"Well, I'm happy this will be of use to you. Just make sure you're not distracted by one another. That would defeat the purpose of the trip." It's like our mom knows that there's something going on between the two of us. She grinned over at you briefly, so you knew she was kidding and meant nothing by it. Sure she didn't. Mom refocused on driving, humming along with the radio under her breath. You went back to staring outside. As you passed one street, you caught a glimpse of someone in brightly colored clothing passing out balloon animals. It sparked a faraway memory, and you felt your lips twitching up before consciously remembering why. How long ago was it that you and Cove watched The Amazing Alexander performing magic tricks? Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I'm glad the game remembered that. That's cool. Hey, Cove, do you remember that one guy?
Maybe.
Maybe I do. Alexander, the amazing Alexander. He gave us dolphin balloons for free. At this reminder, Cove smiled faintly. I love these like callbacks. Oh, yeah, I wonder if he's ever there now. Maybe we should go more often to check. Maybe. This was the first time we ever went down that street together, I think. This was the first time we ever went down that street together, I think. I miss my balloon. He was a good dolphin for that one afternoon I had him. Yeah. Hey, Cove, what were you going to name your balloon? You never told me. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember what kid me was thinking. Probably something obvious like Flipper. You couldn't help the way your own smile curled up higher at the sentiment. You wanted to say something else, but couldn't quite think of what, and so just settled back into your seat. When silence filled the car again, you returned your attention to the window. It was an absolutely gorgeous day. You leaned your face to the sunshine, tempted to close your eyes as the gentle rays warmed your cheeks. Vaughn? Huh? You lifted yourself up a bit more, seeing your mom twisting her torso to face you, confused from the front seat of the car. Next to you was nothing. Cove's car door was already open. You had reached the destination before you even realized it. I was asking, what time should I pick you two up? Oh, 4 should be okay. That should give you enough time to finish your summer assignments, or at least make a large enough dent. Thanks, Mom. You hopped out of the car, remembering to grab your backpack at the last second. All right then, have fun you two. We will. You closed the door, giving a little wave. She waved back. The two of you went right to the door of the library. Cove reached it first and tugged it open, stepping inside. He kept it propped open so you could pass through behind him. The air was much cooler inside the building than it had been for the few seconds you spent outdoors. The space was filled with the soft din of papers being moved and whispered voices. Hey, you seem kind of distracted on the ride here. Just enjoying the day. I'm excited to see Derek. Want to walk around for a bit? Oh yeah, well I mean I am excited to see Derek too. I like Derek. Cove nodded a little, but he didn't say anything in response. Your study buddy was standing at the front of the library by a long rack of magazines. Predictably, he was flipping through one with various sports players on the cover, looking intense enough to burst off the page. His head snapped up when you walked over, beaming widely. Hey, Vaughn! Cove! Hi, were you waiting for a while? Not super long. Derek put the magazine back in its place. Then he gestured to the space at the side. Most of the tables were empty, only a few people leafing through books. There's plenty of room. In unspoken agreement, the three of you started moving towards the seating area. Derek taking 2 steps for every one of Cove's. Oh, guess what? I'm pretty sure I've mastered the fake shot. I'll show you some other time. Derek looked over to gauge the level of interest. Do you know it? Soccer's not really for me. How does it go? Derek's eyes flashed with excitement as he explained.
Okay.
Well, you move the ball like you're going to go one way, then... He demonstrated by running a few steps ahead, showing off some fancy footwork. You do it like this, so it does it like that. You laughed, bobbing your head at his attempt to get the trick across with no ball. Shh! The three of you looked at the checkout desk. The librarian stood behind it and was wearing a deep frown. You felt bad. You were apologetic. You didn't think it was a big deal. I'll be apologetic. You were apologetic. You mouthed, sorry, and she sighed before turning back to the book she was reading. Derek scratched his head, his cheek, choosing not to let that derail things.
Oops.
So, what are you guys working on? What weren't you working on? There were some things you had got to start with. You had yet to start a single assignment, sadly. You had yet to start a single assignment because you didn't feel like it. What weren't you working on? You had started work on most of your assignments, not wanting to leave them until the last minute. Yeah, that's very much me. Very much me. I was not a procrastinator. Never have been. Because I like doing too many things. And the only way that I can juggle... I think that's the thing. People ask me, how do I manage to get so much done? And I just... Honestly, the secret is I don't procrastinate. That's how I get things done, is I don't procrastinate. I never do things at the last minute. If I can do anything early, ahead of time, I'll do it. I'll do it early, ahead of time. You hadn't decided which to focus on this afternoon, though, so you had brought all of them. Who knows, there was a chance you would be able to finish all of them, or so you hoped. I think I'll work on my history assignment. I've got some math problems that need work. I don't care, I don't know. I mean, I'm a math person, so I'll say I've got some math problems that need work. The atmosphere was good for studying, and you felt motivated to tackle them. There's some summer reading, too. I have to go through an assigned book. But I'm going to do that later, since it doesn't need extra references or anything. I've already finished the reading. Oh? I mean, that's not surprising. Cove loves to read. It's not that long, and it was way more interesting than last year's book. Good to know. What about you two? I've got a few worksheets. They look pretty easy, but my school gave us 3 books to read. Can't they stick with just one? I'm doing a timeline for history. You all found a table close to the tall bookshelves and set up camp. Within seconds, pencils and folders and books were strewn out into the surface. You focused on your work. You doodled. You just looked out the window again. Nah, I'm down to business. Let's get down to business to work on a math. You were pretty confident you could get it done before your mom was set to return. I was such a school nerd. I was a big school nerd. I did all my work. You checked the requirements on the homework sheet your teacher had given you, then opened up your textbook to the pages you needed. After some time, Cove shifted in his seat, twisting his back as if trying to work knots out of it. Feeling antsy? You paid enough attention to Cove to recognize when he was no longer feeling comfortable. Yeah, I'm gonna wander around for a bit.
Talk to you later.
See you. I'm gonna stay here. I'm making good progress. I'll come with you too. I'll stay too. I mean, I feel like I got a lot of work done, so I'll say I'll come with you. I feel like I got a lot of work done. So, I mean, the last time Cove wandered off, he wandered off and I didn't go with him because I really, really wanted to do the trivia. This time, I'm like, I mean, I got my work done. I didn't spend the first half of my time doodling or looking out the window. Taking a break is always a good thing. It makes you more productive in the long run. So I'll say, I'll come with you. As much as I would love to hang out and spend more time with Derek, because I love Derek to death, that's pretty obvious how much I love this kid, I feel like, no, I'm going to spend some time with Cove. You might as well take the opportunity to refresh yourself before getting back to work. The two of you strolled away from where you'd been working. Your eyes roamed over the titles of books as you passed by. Some were dull, some intriguing, and others were just strange, but you didn't spot anything that made you pause and pick it up. Looking for something? The reading assignment is more than enough. Always. No, but something might catch my eye. Yeah, always. I tear through books. I might go out of here, if there's enough time. His comment reminded you of the clock ticking away. Even after you finish your work for the summer, the countdown to the new school year would still be on track. Before you know it, we'll be back at class. Yeah, we just got out and it's almost here again. Are you looking forward to going back? Cove rubbed his arm, drawing your attention to the scar he'd earned as a reckless kid, with his far-off gaze. Not really. I don't want summer to end. I like learning stuff, but the way school does it, I want to grow up already. Oh no, I was not in a hurry. I was not in a hurry to grow up because I wanted to be a kid forever. I've always was a kid at heart, so I was like, no, none of that. Do not want to grow up. But I get it. I get why Cove wants to grow up already. Cove didn't feel safe knowing it was others who really determined what his life was like. You understood that much. You touched him softly. You smiled supportively. You shrugged casually. I'll touch him softly. Instinctively, you reached out to him. Your thumb stroked the back of his hand in a way you hoped was comforting. But there's a chance we could end up in the same classes. That would be nice. You nodded, glad that he was cheering you up some. Trust Cove to look on the bright side. I'd like that. A smile spread across his face, crinkling his eyes. What about you? Do you want to go back to school already? Yeah, I'm ready for school to start. No, I don't want summer to end either. I like summer, but I'm ready to go back to school when I've got to. Yeah, I like summer, but I'm ready to go back to school when I've got to. It's interesting. There's more going on then. There was really no getting away from the topic of school right now. It prompted you to think back to the classes you're in. You pursed your lips. History class was the one you were looking forward to. No, history is one of my least favorite subjects. English class is enjoyable. I did enjoy English because I enjoyed, like, writing and stuff. Math class kept your attention. I was a big math person. Science class fascinated you. That was huge, too. You wanted to enroll in the art class. You didn't like any of them. So really, it's a toss-up between math and science. I liked both. I enjoyed both. I think in the long run, I was better at math. But science was what really excited me. But I felt like I was equally, yeah. At the end of the day, these two were pretty much top. So I'm going to say science class fascinated you. You hope there'd be more cool experiments this coming semester. Oh yeah, I love the labs. Lab experiments. Math class kept your attention. You liked figuring out solutions to problems, especially if they're a bit hard at first. You wanted to enroll in the art class. It wasn't mandatory at your school, but you definitely hoped to participate. So English was enjoyable. I feel like history is definitely in the bottom of my list, and English is not something that I didn't enjoy, but I didn't super enjoy it either. It's somewhere in the middle, so I'm going to say, and that was all. Each lost in your own thoughts, you continued to stroll through the library for a little while longer, until Cove caught your attention again. We should probably head back. Yeah, let's go. Before you could take a step back, Cove cleared his throat, avoiding your gaze. Thanks for listening before. Anytime. It's cool. You're welcome. Don't make a habit of it. No, I'm saying anytime. Cove smiled, his cheeks pink. You jerked your head towards where Derek had been left studying. Time to get back to work. Cove and you rejoined with Derek and settled back in as quietly as you could manage. Work continued as normal from there. The sound of shuffling dragged you out of your head. You looked up surprised to see Derek packing up. You're done? Derek casually shrugged, but you could tell he felt proud to be the first finished. Uh-huh. Told you it wasn't anything hard. Wish mine was that easy. Was it even worth coming to the library for that? What are you going to do now? You wondered how Derek was going to spend his newfound freedom.
Maybe.
I could look over what you're doing. Maybe I've got some tips that'll help. That'd be great, thanks. No thanks. You nodded your head, yes. Yeah, that'd be great, thanks. I want Derek to hang out. I gotcha. With a smile, Derek leaned over your part of the table. He took some time to get the gist and point you in the right direction before turning it back over to you. Derek leaned on the back of his feet. Okay, I'm gonna look around while you guys finish. See you. Bye.
Bye.
See you. Later on, Cove shifted in his seat, closing his books as he looked over the notes he'd been taking. Glancing away, you contemplated what you had done thus far, too. You had finished everything. You'd finished most of the assignments. You'd say that there was about half yet. You still had a long way to go. I think by the time that we're very close to the end of the summer, because I don't procrastinate, I would have finished everything by now. You'd finished everything. Just as you thought, it hadn't been that difficult. You wrapped it up already. Especially in middle school. High school, college, probably a different story. But middle school, yeah. Middle school, I probably would have finished it a lot sooner. Derek's advice made it easier in the end. Are you about ready? It's almost 4. Yeah, I think so. Come on. The both of you gathered up your books, and after returning the ones you'd used for reference to their proper shelves, set off to find wherever Derek had wandered off to. He was in the biography section. His back was to the two of you, one hand above his head, and the other supporting himself against the shelf as he strained to grab one of the books. Hey, Derek, we're ready.
Okay.
Oh, okay. He glanced towards the sound of your voice, then up towards the shelf he was trying to reach. I can get that for you. You followed his gaze and then took the book off the shelf for him. Derek, I can get that for you. Yeah, thanks, Vaughn. Derek directed you towards the book he wanted. It was an autobiography of someone you'd never heard of before. Derek is so cute. His height is so cute. In a good way, not in a patronizing way. And then the three of you moved to the front of the library to wait for your rides. You stood close to the window and let out a content sigh, feeling the rays warm you from the slightly chilly library interior. I wish our assignments were more excitement. You stare into space. Got any plans after this? Gonna work on my technique. Can't get rusty while school's out. The answer was inevitable. Technique for what? Football. How about you two? The words you two echoed in your mind. You knew what Derek meant, but why was it bringing a smile to your face to be linked with Cove, even in the most tenuous circumstance? Nothing planned. Me neither. Oh, that's my dad's car. Derek lifted a hand to wave, pushing the door open and heading towards the blue pickup truck waiting in the parking lot.
Talk to you later.
See ya, Vaughn. Bye, Cove. You watched Derek jog off before scanning the area for your mom. Did you get everything done? You got lost in your thoughts. Hey, did you get everything done? Yeah, I've only got to get some thicker paper to draw the final draft on. I saw you're done. He smiled, impressed. You felt pretty good about that. I feel like I'll need to come back to the library again before summer's over. Even if your assigned work was done, you might have to double check some things or do preparation for the start of the year. I'll come with you. I still have some stuff that I can do. You smiled at the idea. Oh, he says, I'll come with you. I still have some stuff I can do. You smiled at the idea. Despite not working on the same thing, it'd be nice to have some company. I'm good with that. Hey, do you want to do something with me after this? Oh, sure. Cove seemed eager towards the offer. You hadn't exactly expected him to say no, but the agreement still made you happy. The two of you smiled at each other. Cove looked away for after a second, and so you did too, fidgeting with the hem of your shirt. It wasn't long before you spied your mom's car coming down the road. There she is.
All right.
Time to go then. You climbed into the car, sliding into your usual seats and buckling the belts. Hey kiddos, did you get a lot done? I'm done.
Nice.
Amazing. The car shifted into action and you watched as the library shrunk into the distance. It wouldn't be the last time you saw it this summer. Even better, you were going to have good company with you. You were already counting down the days. You fielded questions from Mom while you tried to juggle a conversation with Cove. When she learned you two were planning on returning, she immediately offered to give you a ride next time. You continued to answer Mom's questions about what you've been working on, then told her about your plans to stick with Cove after getting back. There was something knowing in her smile that made you pause, just for a moment. But soon enough the trip was over. You had arrived back to your neighborhood. Cove had run over to his house real quick to drop off his stuff. You also made a pit stop to put your backpack away before heading out again. The two of you regrouped in the middle of the road, halfway between your houses. With everything wrapped up, you could now freely enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Your conversation resumed as you both began walking down the street together. The afternoon came and went, dinner was eaten, and you were cleaning up the dishes left behind from it. Cove had elected to stay for the meal today. He passed you a couple plates to rinse in the sink. Even though he didn't have to, Cove asked to do at least something to help. Oh, how sweet. You scrubbed the last of them and let out a satisfied sigh. Okay, they're done. I'm going upstairs now. You addressed your guests for the evening. Are you gonna come with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to go back till later. Take it easy, kids. Thank you for the help. When you get back to your room, you notice your backpack from earlier. You figured it would be best to unpack the stuff you needed before going to bed. Cove plopped onto your desk chair and it spun around a bit as he got comfortable. He watched you contentedly as you walked across the room. He didn't need or expect you to try entertaining him constantly. It was just nice to be near each other, even when nothing was going on. You hefted your bag up onto the bed and sunk into the comforter. With that, you started to sort through books and paper packets. Not all of it were things you'd need anytime soon. A small pile of the most important assets began to grow at the side of your backpack until you'd gone over it all. You had actually finished flipping through the contents, but that wasn't all of your work. You instinctively pulled the opening closer to you and peered inside. A second look through commenced, and then a third, and then you began to open the smaller pockets. You were missing your math assignment. Vaughn? By this point, Cove could tell something was wrong. Oh, I'd be panicking at this point. All that work? You had spent the better part of the day completely finishing it, and now it was gone. It hadn't been that noteworthy before, but the bag wasn't really zipped when you had first begun to look through. The work could have fallen out somewhere if you had it in the first place. You are upset by the revelation, but made yourself stay calm. You started to panic. All you could do was shrug. Your stress level shot up. It was best to think positively. You felt paralyzed. I would say my stress level shot up, would shoot up. You're like, I have to do this again? I guess I wouldn't panic because there's still time. I'd probably have time to do it again. But I would be like really irritated and really stressed out. It was gone, and now you're gonna have to replace everything you did for it. My math work isn't in my backpack. At your word, Cove jumped out of his seat.
No way!
Is there somewhere where we can look? The bag was kind of open, so he winced sympathetically. That left a lot of options for where it might be, most of them bad. You made a sudden bolt for the other side of your room. You started to scour the spot the backpack was originally left in. With nothing in sight there, you expanded the search to the rest of the space. Cove did his best to stay out of your way, while keeping an eye open for your missing work. It was a frantic and ultimately fruitless effort. Your assignment wasn't here. Let's check downstairs. It might still be in your house someplace. Fine.
How are you?
Well, hello again. Is everything alright? You told your mom what was going on. You gave a rambling explanation of the situation. You answered with a raised voice. Honestly, at that age, I'd give a rambly explanation. You gave a rambly explanation of the situation. No, it was. I had it. I did it. When I was getting it out, it wasn't there, and I don't know.
What?
What? My schoolwork is missing. This was definitely getting to you. You have things that you want to do, that you need to do, and instead you have to worry about this. Yeah, this is very accurate. Very accurate for me.
I'm so sorry.
Sweetie, I'm so sorry. What's missing? An assignment for school from the library today? Mom's eyebrows raised with a concern at the answer. That's a pickle. I'll call right now. I think they might still be open. Thanks, Mom. Don't worry about it. That's not gonna help. You let her... Oh, no. I'd say thanks, Mom, because it could... There's hope that maybe the assignment's still there.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Just leave it to me. Cove, honey, can you tell us if there was anything you noticed? You were with Vaughn, right? I saw the assignment when Vaughn had it out at the library. I don't remember him putting it away, but I'm pretty positive there was nothing left on the table when we were done. He spoke resolutely. Before now, he hadn't considered that something might have been left behind. You had felt the same when leaving, though it was hard not to second-guess things now. Maybe Maybe Derek accidentally took my homework. Derek might have it. Your mom re-entered the scene a few minutes later. The look on her face was not promising.
Well...
So I got hold of one of the librarians. They don't have any papers with your name on them. Not that they could see anyway. I'm sorry. Check with Derek. Thanks for trying. Okay. You had no reply. You groaned in frustration. I'd grown in frustration. Yeah, this. I don't know if I would be calm enough to say thanks for crying. Not in middle school. Okay, I've grown in frustration.
Sweetie.
Oh, honey, we'll figure this out. Vaughn, hey, let's go over to my house. I can check my bag. Maybe I took it when we were packing up and I didn't notice. Good idea. I don't want to. All right, it's not gonna be there. No, I still want to like have hope. I wouldn't give up because it could. Good idea. You got the impression this wasn't just another place to look. You were stressed over the situation here. He was trying to give you an out. Let's go. Cove nodded and made his way to the door. Your mom stood by with creased brows. Take care, kids. Good luck. Call Derek. Bye, moms. You briskly made the trip across the street, and in less than a minute, you were going through the threshold of Cove's house. Cove had been in a rush earlier today. His backpack was tossed on the couch without a thought. No one had moved it since then. You can sit down or anything. I'm gonna look. He lifted up the backpack and unzipped it in a fluid motion. You were left to wait as he rooted around inside with an unexpected level of seriousness. There was no way you could relax right now. You were actually calming down now. No, there was no way I could relax. School was a big deal. Big deal. And if I lost an assignment, granted it's not so bad like I said because there's still some summer left, but I would still be panicking. You leaned closer, trying to get a peek into what he was seeing. Every second of not knowing made you more tense. Your impatience didn't go unnoticed. He tore through the contents rapidly, until Cove's eyes drifted from the opening of the bag and traced a length of the room's floor. His arms were still tucked way inside, but the search was over. Your heart sank. It was obvious there wasn't much of a chance Cove somehow had it this whole time. Still, you'd wanted to hope. How about Derek? Finally, Cove lowered his backpack to the floor while slipping his arm out, and he wasn't empty-handed. Cove extended a few papers your way.
All right.
Here. Your eyes flicked down at the assignment and then went right back up to his face. That's your copy. In the almost silent room, you could hear a slight crinkling of paper as his fingers gripped together, tighter. His expression was just as firm. No, it's yours. Thank you. Cove, I can't take that from you. I appreciate you want to help, but that's okay. That's cheating. Are you sure? You could only stare. No, I would say that's cheating. That's cheating. Cheating is when somebody tries to go out of doing something they were supposed to. You did the work. It isn't fair that you might not get credit for it. I mean, I would just do it again. It's a learning experience. I appreciate what Cove's trying to do, but honestly, like, it was a mistake that I should take as a learning experience to try to be a lot more careful next time. At least that's how I try to handle these kind of things. If I lose something, then I have to be like, all right, take this as a learning opportunity. That assignment and grades, they're important to you, and you're important to me, so he flatly dropped the papers at your feet, refusing to meet your eyes. It's sweet, but I know what he's doing. It's sweet, but for someone who is in a relationship with me, I want them to not encourage cheating. That's just something that I would want my significant other to not do. I don't want them to encourage cheating. Even though they want to help, I get it. But they should know that is the line that I would not want to cross for helping me. I think I did pretty good with it. The marks shouldn't be bad. You thanked him for what he was trying to do. You hugged him. You insisted he shouldn't go through with it.